2 minutes is 50%.
So next weekend is WrestleMania 37. Go through and do our predictions on here. So we have Matt Riddle defending the U.S. title against Sheamus on night 2. Actually, let's start with night 1. That was going to work up because they have it kind of looking on here. So for night 1, Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. Honestly, a lot of this card for both nights could go either way, because you want Seth Rollins to continue with his new heel thing. He could get the win, but a win for Cesaro would be huge for him. And Seth, honestly, being a heel, especially the type of heel he is bulletproof. So as soon as if he does lose, it's not going to affect him any. Who do you guys have in Cesaro versus Seth?
I got Rollins.
I like to go ahead, Matthew.
No, no, it's okay. You go ahead, sir.
You know me, I like to embrace the vision, but I'm all about Cesaro on this one. Hopefully Cesaro gets a WrestleMania win here in a moment, but you're right, it can go either way. It wouldn't derail Seth if he lost, but as again, we don't know what plans they have for Seth. We know Seth could be on the road for him to get a title shot against whoever the champion is. So I'm just going with Cesaro.
But then again, last year Seth lost, and then the next month he was the number 1 contender again.
Yeah, but they're not going to do.
Oh, of course, yeah. There you go.
It's like because you can always hear like the message boards are going to go. Didn't they do this last year? Yeah, but
they would.
Yeah, I think Seth is going to win this. I think it builds towards a second match between the two, which I think is going to. Seth has not had a match since returning. So.
Nakamura.
Well, yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, he had one match. Yeah.
Two matches. He had some Nakamura twice.
Yeah. But I think like it's great for Cesaro to have the WrestleMania moment and all that, but I think for his own character progression / storyline progression, I think Seth winning is the better way to go.
Because I think, especially if they give it a long runtime, that it could be one of those situations where Cesaro almost looks stronger in defeat.
Yes, exactly. Where Cesaro has the match well, maybe an exposed turnbuckle makes him lose.
Yeah.
Something out of that, something in that ilk.
Or not to cut up, or they may turn Nakamura.
I was thinking that also.
That could work. Yeah, that could work too.
And side note, I'm looking at this. So right now it's 6 matches on night 1 and 6. So you really couldn't have room for the SmackDown tag on one of these nights. It's weird because I remember like they doing it on SmackDown. Like that's weird.
Because it's like you figure this right here is, unless one of these matches goes really long, this is about a 3-hour show for both nights.
And I'm fine with
that.
It's
like I am too, but it's like you figure they could add in. Yeah. They could have added in the tag titles to like a pre-show or something.
And the women's tag teams are not listed either, but they might be, or that could be a pre-show thing. It's just weird. It's I'm fine with the Battle Royal being on SmackDown because it's not that big. It's just weird. That's all. I'm looking at things like. I get that the triple threat for it's a better story, so of course it's going to be the main event of night 2. But it's kind of sucked for Drew that he was the main event last year, and now you just night 1.
But Mania is technically supposed to be whoever wins the Rumble gets the main event, so it makes sense.
It's not always.
Both have main event spots.
Yeah. True.
Wasn't that way. The Undertaker won in 2007. He didn't get the main event.
Yeah, that's true.
John Cena won in 2008. He didn't get the main event. He didn't even get the main event of No Way Out.
Oh, yeah. This whole debacle, we've discussed this several times. You can find this in our archives collection. You can either look up WrestleMania 24, or you can look up our history of the Royal Rumble, wherever fine podcasts are available. Braun Strowman and Shane McMahon. It's another one that could go either way. It's in a cage, so it's like cages are they're supposed to be, decisive, but generally aren't anymore. You could either have Braun win and move on to whatever the fuck he's going to do next, or you lead to Shane winning and then you have Braun versus Shane Part 2 at May pay-per-view, wherever the hell it's going to be, Money in the Bank or whatever it's going to be this year. Yeah. It's basically Big Show versus Shane all over again. What do you guys think of this one?
I don't care, and I'm just gonna wait.
Might be.
I'm here
in the restroom or something. I don't know. Mohammed, what do you think of Braun versus Shane?
He's here. You can't hear him?
Yeah, I'm here. I switched to my phone, so I need to do something right quick. That's all. Yeah, I'm here.
Can you hear it? Because if Joe can't hear you, you're not gonna make the podcast because he's recording the audio. Can you hear him now?
Can you hear me now?
No, let me close off real quick and pop back in.
Okay, sorry about that. It's just that I'm cooking something and it was about to go down. Oh. I need to get it out, that's all.
There it goes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
There's something.
All right, but we can't see you anymore, Joe.
What's that?
No, I'm coming on.
Okay. There he is. There he is. Okay, go ahead, James. You're on a live. You got a live mic on pay-per-view. Come on, give us your. It's not on pay-per-view. It's just on podcast. But anyway.
I know. I just don't care for the match. I'm just saying I'm just gonna wait till Shane does the big bump up to the cage. That's it.
I mean, yeah.
Hit a choo-choo train, go around, and that's it. You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear. I think cage matches are supposed to be decisive, but over the past few years, the WWE made them not decisive at all.
Yeah, they're basically so dime a dozen anymore.
Yeah, it's just they're just story progression matches. They're not, and then they use that thing where if you escape, you can win the match to just it's basically a cop out. It's not. It's not a decisive win. So I think Shane is probably going to do something crazy.
And Elias and his goon will be there, of course.
Yeah, they're probably there's gonna be a spot where Braun tries to exit through the door, and they're gonna stop him, and
it's gonna be by the numbers completely.
Shenanigans are gonna ensue, and
shenanigans.
Yeah. And I think Shane is probably going to win this for them to have another match in the future. It's honestly this
inform Pete.
Yeah.
I let Pete know.
Yeah, about shenanigans? Okay.
No, there's gonna be more match. That's what he likes to hear.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna love that. I don't know. I just much like James, I just don't care about this feud or this match at all. It was put together in a stupid way. It's the whole idea of Shane versus another Giant has been done to death.
It wasn't an organic thing at all because there was no build to it. It was just like, let's just have this happen and
let Shane be the most contrived, unbelievable, and totally unnatural asshole he could be to Braun. And it just didn't work. It just doesn't work. So,
Braun is stupid.
Yeah, that's all it's built around.
Yeah, exactly.
Raw tag titles, New Day versus AJ and Omos. That's another one I think could go either way. Either AJ and Omos, take the fall and possibly split up. Because this past Monday it did kind of seem like Omos was getting agitated with AJ a little bit. Or you have, AJ and Omos win the titles, which
almost
makes sense.
What makes sense?
I mean, I don't mind the match at all because AJ and Omos are an actual pairing, so it makes them as a team. And as I said, like New Day are the most dependable tag team there is to be on a Mania. But What do you guys think of Raw Tag Team Championship match?
It'd be an interesting match. We'll see how it goes. I'm just about it myself. Not because I hate makeshift tag teams, and I know they've been teaming up for a while, and it may be interesting. I'm curious to see what Amos can do. It's just like, and if they win, who cares? It's just the tag teams have just not been that great for Raw. So I really don't know what to say about that.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious to see what Amos is going to do. That's it. But you go ahead, Master Peter.
Yeah, it's I'm kind of in the same boat. It's just, I think this match is just purely made for just so AJ has something to do at the Mania.
This.
It's not something for the New Day to use. It's not. I think, honestly, Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin should be in that spot. I believe
it have to be a triple threat or something.
Yes,
even.
I believe the work they did with the Hurt Business of it has earned them that spot at WrestleMania. They should have it. Having a triple threat would have been at least, so it's at least you have the both teams and you have something different that's going on.
Definitely.
I like Omos as a character, honestly. The way he's presented, the way his deadpan reactions to whatever AJ is doing or whatever anyone else is doing around him are near perfect, honestly. So it's an interesting match. It's an interesting match to watch. I mean, like I'm not gonna say I'm looking forward to it. It doesn't excite me, but I don't mind it. It's gonna be
right.
It's gonna be there.
It's gonna be okay match.
It has AJ and Kofi in it, so you're not gonna go wrong with it. It's gonna have some.
And my overall thing about it is just I like almost and everything, but I just get a lot of Braun Strowman vibes. Like that's how they did with Braun when he first was with the family. They kept them protected, kept them limited. Not limited, but you didn't see a lot of them.
Yeah, he basically just threw people around.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised. And I'm thinking, okay, he's gonna be great, but then how long are we gonna not gonna get liking this? You're just like Jesus Christ. So we'll see, but it's gonna be interesting. AJ will make it good, and so will the New Day and stuff.
Yeah.
So just gotta see.
It's kind of like I almost don't want them to progress Omos's character at all. It's like I
like how he is.
I think he's perfect right where he is. I don't want him to change at all. It's like I'm not don't push the guy, but just don't skyrocket the guy. Just have him be AJ's second, or just.
AJ is perfect in the role of being the naive. I don't want to call him an idiot because it's like his TNA heel run. He had kind of an idiotic moments.
That way, yeah.
But he's more naive, and like he's the type of guy who's like almost like a manager who thinks he's cooler than he is and tries to get along with people even though people just hate him. And it goes back to like Survivor Series. Basically, Survivor Series to now is a different version of AJ Styles.
Yes. He's the guy,
it works for him. Like
he's the guy who thinks he's cool, but he's not cool. He's not actually.
Yeah.
Hey.
He's basically Michael Scott.
Hey, that was the skipper you talking about there now.
Yes. Which I'm glad they brought that joke back again a couple weeks ago. Next up, we got Bad Bunny versus The Miz.
Match of the night.
I don't know how this. I don't know how it's gonna go. I will say this: Bad Bunny has treated WWE and wrestling with more respect than most celebrities have. He hasn't come in and made a joke. He hasn't stopped and started smiling and made it look like he's embarrassed to be there.
Hell, he has treated the WWE with more respect than some wrestlers actually have.
Yeah, he's been completely professional about it. I can see where everyone's coming from against Bad Bunny. I totally do. But if you look at the history of celebrities with professional wrestling, a lot of them act like they don't know what's going on. They act like they're above what they're doing. Bunny has not been that way. So for that reason alone, plus his Saturday Night Live appearance, which won me over as a fan of his because it was a great episode, I am for Bad Bunny. And honestly, if he gets the win, I don't mind because I feel, even though I don't want to see him break up, I feel that The Miz will rebound because I think The Miz will lose, and I feel he's going to blame John Morrison for the loss somehow. I think Miz and Morrison will be splitting sometime soon because they've been having that lately where
there's friction or they're not.
Miz gets kind of yes. I see that happening soon, and I think the loss to Bad Bunny will lead to that split. It might not happen right away. It might not happen until after Money in the Bank, or I think that's the May pay-per-view this year. But I'm going with Bad Bunny winning this one. I'll send it over to the only other maybe one of two other Bad Bunny fans who I can think of right now, Mohammed. Shout out to Troy Han. But Mohammed, what do you think of Bad Bunny versus The Miz here?
I am a big Bad Bunny fan just off of seeing him on the WWE. I didn't know who he was before this. Even though I actually found out that I heard some of his songs before, but I never, found out this is.
That's bad.
Yeah, I didn't know this was the same guy who did the Ric Flair drip. It's.
I don't know what the hell that is, but okay.
Neither do I.
No, you guys remember he was on some ceiling of a building singing with Ric Flair, and Ric Flair goes woo, and they just go around each other. That song was big when it came out.
Yeah, I saw a clip of that. Yeah, okay.
I was looking it up, and it turned out that was Bad Bunny.
All right.
I know. I spaced out his name.
So that's some reason.
More you know.
Yeah. Well, you guys got me.
The MO.
Let me check if that's actually if it was actually him or not, because if it's not, then we don't want to be giving false information out on our podcast, right?
Yes, that's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, because
a lot of people, we don't want to do a
because
selfie.
you guys don't know because a lot of people come to this space for the true wrestling facts and news. That's what they.
That's right.
Yeah. There it is. Song is Chambia, Bad Bunny's thing on the video. Chambia Bad Bunny video official, and Ric Flair is right there next to him. So anyway, but the way he carried himself in the WWE was very good. I'm not sure I like the singles match aspect of it. I was honestly hoping for Miz and Morrison versus Damian Priest, and not actually Bad Bunny. I was hoping for Miz and Morrison versus Damian Priest and Booker T with Bad Bunny in their corner.
Morrison is injured right now. That's why he's not wrestling at WrestleMania.
And he's not been wrestling for
Yeah, he I think it was his ankle he twisted, but it's not bad to keep him off TV. But he originally was going to be in the match, but they took him off because of the injury he has.
Yeah. Not taking any chances, I think. But I honestly, it's probably because it's celebrities and it's WrestleMania. Miz is gonna lose, but I could actually see an outcome where Miz actually wins this match, and it will not be any less of an impact with it. I can see that, but I don't think they're gonna go for that. And like you said, a lot of people don't like having a celebrity in there, but let's go back to this: the genesis of WrestleMania, what it was actually based on, what it was built on, was the crossover between WWE and pop culture. So celebrities are an integral role in WrestleMania. You cannot deny that.
Yes,
that's what it was built on. That's why That's why there is a WrestleMania, because of celebrity. Because we wanted celebrities there. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, but the difference is that it was, and you're right, they had that even with Mr. T, but it's Mr. T. That's it's just, and I agree with you on that. But yeah, it's just, I think the problem is we have no problem if he was the musical host or this and that, did a song, but he's actually got a title, which is not an important title, and he actually having a match, but. That's just it evolves in time. He's not the first person to be a celebrity in a wrestling match. He won't be the last one. So I agree with you on that one. And I'm okay with Bad Bunny. It's just whatever. It's WrestleMania season. That's all. And he's not taking up too much TV time. It's not like he's main event in Raw or he's everywhere. He's doing his thing. He's respecting the business. He's self-promoting WWE, which that's what he should be doing.
And his segments are short. Like he's not in anything that's long. Like he's either in a backstage segment that lasts maybe a minute, or if he's in the ring, it's usually seconding Damian Priest for like a 5-minute match.
Or he comes
and I'm thinking that's because he can.
And goes. He's efficient.
Yeah,
he does
because I think and I think because he can't speak English, so he can't take too much talking time. So and the thing is, he's doing what I respect him is he's pushing Priest. That's the whole point. It's not just him; it's him and Damian Priest. So I'm thinking for Bad Bunny, and they can go either way. I'm thinking, do Bad Bunny really need to win? You know, they can continue it for one more match.
If they, now when Joe said Morrison is injured, I could say, I could see Miz winning and then they go to a tag team match at the next pay-per-view. If Morrison.
That's what I'm saying, So they can continue the feud a little bit more and stuff like that. So, And I would like to go back on my PC, but I don't want to have the disconnection again. Sorry, I'm smoking something and time came. So.
We don't allow that type of behavior here on the pod. We don't allow smoking of anything on this podcast.
We are straight edge on this pod right here.
Yes,
we are. And I was smoking meat, everybody, before somebody else jump in on that, because I could see Pete like, what was James smoking?
If Walter was here, he would say, of course you were smoking meat.
Exactly. And I learned it from watching you, Dad. I learned it from watching you.
Is that a new vape flavor meat?
It could be. So I'm gonna switch it on my PC. Hopefully nothing happens.
Something happened.
The offer for you too?
So everybody can hear me.
I can hear you. Joe?
I'm gonna disconnect.
And Joe is disconnecting and reconnecting.
Okay.
I gotta say, it's a fresh change of pace to have you guys, experiencing these connection hiccups and not me.
Yeah.
So you hear me, Joe?
I can hear you.
All right. So that's one thing about Bad Bunny. I'm okay with him. Just he's like you said, segments are short. He's pushing Priest. Priest does the talking for him. I love Priest. The Miz and Morrison are entertaining, so it's not like he's feuding with R-Truth. Let's say that. Okay. Exactly. So I have no problem with him.
The one thing about Priest, I just hope they ease up on the makeup for going forward on. Like his face was actually growing.
I'm shocked you said that. You say that, but you have not thought about Bobby Lashley's fake eyelashes, though. He doesn't have eyelashes.
I did not notice him, but they did the whole facial thing for the other guy. So it's like, what?
Yeah. Because you can look at it, you can see it's painted on like he doesn't have it on.
Yeah.
But yes, hey, when you in the big time, you gotta wear makeup, even Damian Priest.
So
you can move on.
Speaking of Bobby Lashley, this is an odd match because one, it's like if you rewind to 2 weeks ago, it's almost like so the Hurt Business interferes in the Sheamus match. Actually gets pissed off. Then later that evening, after they lose to Drew McIntyre, he gets pissed off at them for losing, even though he didn't want them at ringside. He wanted them at ringside for that match, which leads to the kick to the Hurt Business being split up. It's almost like an American History X type situation where you had Ed Norton's character was a Nazi, but then he sees the Nazis working with somebody else, and he's like, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to turn babyface all of a sudden." So they teased that friction, which really amounted to nothing other than premature breakup of the Hurt Business. Yeah. It's like he was pissed off at them for the same reason. He wound up getting pissed off at them. It's like it makes no sense for him to be pissed off at him at the 7:00 hour attacking Sheamus. Then he gets pissed off at him because they can't attack Drew. It's like if you want to be the dominant champion, just have it be that. Like they didn't need to add any extra friction into the match.
I agree.
if they go with Lashley winning, the Shelton Benjamin mark in me love to see Lashley win and have Lashley versus Shelton at, let's just call it Money in the Bank for the W Championship. Even if he doesn't win, it'd be an awesome experience just to see Shelton in a WWE title match on pay-per-view at this stage in his career. But we go back even further to when Lashley beat The Miz. We all basically said it. The main reason for it happening is for Drew to be on the chase for Lashley, because it would make more sense having it that way. And having Drew finally win the title in front of fans makes sense. Personally, I'm biased here. I would have Lashley win just so you can have Lashley and Shelton for the title, but I know that's not going to happen. I'm going with Drew McIntyre winning this one, but I think it's a little bit premature almost just because of how great Lashley has been portrayed the past month and a half. With the whole Hurt Business being, disintegrated, I'm not sure exactly where they're going to be going with anybody at this point. Mohammed, what are your thoughts on the WWE Championship?
Well, I was contemplating what you were saying about this match, and I just, a thought came to my mind. What if the Hurt Business disintegrating is a ruse?
That's what Brandon Fraser brought up on MBS today. He said, what if the whole thing is just so they can actually get involved in the match, which makes sense.
It would make sense. Mm-hmm. And it would then lead to Lashley winning, because there's no sense in doing it unless it actually leads to the heel being the victor.
Yes.
But I think it's hypothetical, but it makes sense as a hypothetical. But I think the idea is it's too late in the game for this. They should be going for Drew getting his moment in front of all the fans and so forth. But then again, long-time storytelling, it's better that Lashley retains. That Drew at least has something else to chase. They can go with that for next year. I'm leaning Drew at this point. Ask me tomorrow, I might say Lashley, but right now, I'm talking to you, I think Drew McIntyre is going to come out on top. And if you ask me, I think this match should be the main event of night one. Nothing against Sasha and Bayley, but I think Drew and Bobby have the stronger story going in.
I think they will main event. Drew and Lashley, but you never know. They may switch it up.
They might. It's a lot of people are saying that Sasha and Bianca are going to main event, but I think Drew winning the title, getting soaking in the fans and stuff should be the closer for night one.
I'll save my thoughts for that when we talk about that match, because I agree with that. I think the Rumble winner should main event, but I have reason I don't think it should, which I'll get to after James discusses his thoughts on the title match.
So Bobby versus Drew. Like I said, they only had 2-3 weeks to build this, and I said they could have did the parallels of they time in WWE had took them so long to become champions. I think that would be a better story. Except the difference that Drew was just in the doghouse majority of his career compared to Bobby Lashley. But maybe I don't know what the story is with them. I guess
because Lashley, if you look at Ruthless Aggression, Lashley he got the rocket strapped to him from the moment he got in. It's like from 2005, he was winning mid cards. 2006, he was doing semi-main events on SmackDown, not necessarily pay-per-view, but on SmackDown. Then 2007, he was main eventing ECW. He was main eventing Raws. He had
they built up the match with John Cena as the big fight, which it kind of delivered on that aspect.
Yeah, which actually Did.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, but yeah, and they could have did that, but this whole build is just weird, and they not been booking Bobby good. So I sat back and looked at that Raw. Why is person who's the almighty, the CEO of the Hurt Business, asking people to take out Bobby? Taking out Drew when you could just do it yourself?
And also
And I'm
on
just
that
like-
note, Drew came off as like a heel and a bully in that segment, because like came into that backstage area and nobody came after him all night long. But
No.
it's like
So he's
2
like,
hours in, he's like I'm gonna go in here and just bully these jobbers around until somebody does anything. And then he starts, Humberto he punched and tossed around, or
I
I think it was Humberto.
Mm-hmm.
I think he beat up Humberto. Then Angel Garza like came after him.
Yeah, that's it.
Then he headbutted Drew Gulak.
Yeah. Drew on
I
Drew.
was like hoping that someone would actually, like, while he's doing all this thing, with someone would just out of camera just yell hey, and then come into thing and say I'm your Huckleberry tonight, and they have that match. Which
Yeah.
And so much that it was Baron Corbin from SmackDown, which didn't make any more sense.
Yeah.
Like, no one for Raw would have stepped up and stuff to the
it's
challenge.
kind of like-
Ricochet
yeah,
did, but
but Ricochet, even the way Ricochet stepped up was like he was kind of like bullied into stepping up. Like he didn't he didn't really want to do it, but then well, if you insist, I might as well come after you and earn myself a title match at WrestleMania. You should be more excited about this, or more.
Just imagine the impact if at the end, granted we did have Ali who came in.
yeah.
Imagine if they didn't have Ali do that thing that he did where he came in right after the Ricochet match. Let's just say Ricochet match lasted a little bit longer, and after the match, Ali just comes in and completely lays out
Yeah, exactly. Beats him up.
McIntyre.
The whole idea that
And
Ali,
the
whole idea that Ali comes out, attacks him, and then they have a match. Like, you're supposed to take him out, not beat him.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's what confuses. So just that and his own stuff, it's going to be a good match, and it can go either way, like you said. Bobby can retain by interference with the Hurt Business. It could be a rules, and they can have a rematch for it. I'm thinking Bobby needs to win this. Give Bobby the chance to see what he can do. For God's sakes, you gave him a whole new graphic and entrance. You believe in him. Let Drew chase.
There is potential in this guy as champion.
Yeah, it's like Drew had it for a year. He did decent, and I get that it'd be nice to Drew to get the crowd and stuff, but I'm saying if this WrestleMania is success, who say that the next pay-per-view won't have a crowd either, and he can just have it there. So,
Yeah.
I'm going, let me go with Bobby. Bobby's going to retain. Stuff like that.
So the reason I think that should main event, because Bianca Belair, while she's good in the ring. I'm not gonna say she's not good in her. She's good in the ring. She has personality. She's the pretty much the total package of what should be. But this match doesn't feel like a main event match. And it's not a disrespect to her or Sasha. It's nothing like that. It just does not feel. It hasn't been presented that way in the build. Sasha works best as heel, and she's been doing that. That's great. Babyface Bianca has been too timid, especially compared to how he was as a babyface the past year, where she was just mid card babyface. But main event babyface Bianca is too timid. NXT heel Bianca would not be taking a slap in the face from Sasha Banks.
Exactly.
The match just doesn't feel big. I think it could have. Like when it was when she first won the Rumble, I was fully on board with her main eventing like a night one. I was like, fuck yeah, this will be great. But the build just hasn't been all that, because you had those tag matches that they had twice with Shayna and Nia, had the forced slap at the end of not Elimination Chamber, Fastlane. Everything hasn't really clicked, and it just feels, especially the SmackDown Women's Division, just feels so light. Like there's nothing, not a whole lot of talent on it. I'm not saying there's not talent. There's not a lot of wrestlers on the roster. They keep bringing in Shayna and Nia have like a moment with these two, even though it's like been said and done. There's no reason to have them do anything. Carmella is being brought back in for a moment here or there.
Yeah.
It's been relying on a supporting cast. It hasn't been relying on the two main actors.
Haven't been using it to its full potential. Both the women's division on both brands, let's be fair, have not.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I think Raw works a little bit better because it has the women on Raw just feel a little bit more larger than life than the SmackDown ones. But yeah, I agree with that both rosters feel completely light.
Yeah, and I have to. The controversy is always Shayna and Nia is kind of more entertaining than both of them. That's because of Reggie. At least they doing something with they got.
I agree.
Yeah. It's just. I
agree.
So it's just it's.
As for who's gonna win, as I said, the roster's kind of light. There's really, if you put the belt on Bianca, you could granted have a rematch with Sasha, a program with Bayley, a program with Carmella, but I feel like those will only just be a couple months down the line. By the time SummerSlam rolls around, you're going to put the belt right back onto Bayley or Sasha. Where if you keep the belt on Sasha, again, you kind of run the same problem. There's not a lot of talent for her to face, but at least if you build up Bianca to SummerSlam and have Bianca win it at SummerSlam, she might feel more main event ready at that point.
Mm-hmm. And also, they got to do a monster. A monster run with Tamina or Natalia against her, because she kind of on equal footing with the people you listed, but they got to have oh man, how's she gonna stop Tamina? Stuff like that. They always got to do that with a babyface champion and stuff like that.
They do.
So, it's interesting. That's interesting.
What do you guys think of the outcome of SmackDown Women's Championship?
I was happy with Belair winning, and that was great. It was new and fresh. But like I said, the problem is, okay, she's gonna face Sasha, and Sasha's her face right now, and kind of the same one coin, same size, basically how they are when they can be in certain ways. So we have established a heel in the face. So we know Sasha's the heel, and they doing the whole I'm better, I'm the Michael Jordan of the women division, blah blah blah, and they got Belair, the big eye doe. Yes, I'm happy to be on the main roster. Don't forget about my whole NXT run thing. How I was in NXT, and you're right. It's kind of weird because they're just having her look weak compared to Sasha. And I'm like, this is not Belair that I know. And so it's kind of been decent. Not the best, but you're right. The supporting characters are making it work. Carmella, the little Reggie thing, Nia and Shayna, and so on. They'll have a good match. It's going to be decent. It's weird that... Yeah, this can go either way, but I agree with you, though. I'm going to go with Sasha. Sasha needs to win to continue her reign, and I think Belair be better in the chase and have her try to take it at SummerSlam. Something like that. I'll go with Sasha. What do you think, Masita?
I'll agree that Sasha should win. It's not just about the chase or anything, but if Belair wins the title now, it's a good ending to a subpar story. It's not like we didn't build towards this thing. And I honestly, James, I kind of disagree with you, because babyface versus babyface works when it's done right. When it's like two larger.
Oh yeah, it can work, but it's just, how can I say it?
They did not go that route building this up. That's the problem. They just they did. I mean, like Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart was face versus face for WrestleMania, and it was good because you were like, who's the better guy, this guy or this guy?
Versus Taker.
Yeah. But see, but we have to realize that when you come up from NXT, your NXT thing is erased. So they thinking this is Belair first time, so she's overcoming a big accomplishment of beating Sasha Banks. And
I mean,
they figured that it'd be better.
Oh, they're right. Yeah. I mean, still Belair came up from NXT, but Belair doesn't have any titles in NXT, so they cannot. So it's not like she held a championship before, so you can swing it the way that. Okay, title matches are not her thing, right? They're not her strong suit.
I get you, but they have to pull that, underdogs. She won the Royal Rumble, and now they trying to take the Shawn Michaels thing with a hell.
Yeah, but come on, at the moment, she's still the underdog because Sasha is the more accomplished star. Sasha is the she.
I agree with you, but just
multiple time women's champion. As multiple times, even an NXT champion, she's had the title on three brands, tag team champion, star of the Mandalorian.
Oh yeah, but I get you that. And this is my thing. This is me in my casual eyes, not me knowing wrestling. But Belair can power lift Otis. He should just be able to throw Sasha across the ring. That's what I'm saying. So they have to give Sasha some type of edge, and that's what they're trying to do.
But
that's what I'm thinking.
But Hogan could have done the same thing to the Macho Man, but it worked.
That's true.
I'd rather use the Warrior though. Yeah, the Warrior was better.
Yeah, but it's.
I get you though.
Yeah, but it's the whole idea that the build itself was lackluster. It's like they chose the whole let's put some personal spin on this too late in the game for it. It should, if they were gonna go this route, they should have build sowed that seed back in the Elimination Chamber, not a Fastlane. Fastlane is too close to me.
Completely.
And I get that they think that they gave Bianca redemption by having her slap Sasha 5 days later. But still, she got slapped in the middle of the ring, and she did nothing. She basically got punked out.
She did.
Yeah, and there's no coming back from that. It's hard unless they were gonna go with the whole maybe Bianca's confidence is shattered, and she cannot do this, and Sasha and the D set her soul, but they didn't even go that route either. They just had that slap to spice up something, but they didn't know what to do with that spice. They just, put it in there. That's why I think this match. That's why, like Joe, I don't think this match should main event because the build has been lackluster. The match that should main event should be.
As I said, it was totally for the main event when it was first announced.
Yeah, same.
It's it's what you have done with what you're presented, and what you've been presented is not a main event. Back in January, I was totally for this, but not anymore.
No, I agree. I just look at it that it's. No, yeah, well, I totally agree. It shouldn't be the main event for what it is, but I'm thinking when they first announced it could have main event, possibility, but I wouldn't. I say if it did, I wouldn't have a problem if it did. But if it didn't, I wouldn't be like, okay, it's a woman's title match. But yeah, and I'm thinking
when they announced it, if they would have not done anything, if they would not have tried to change the story at all, it still would have been fitting for the main event. But the way they drove it downwards,
they built it like Michaels versus Hart. Or do you remember the WrestleMania 12 video?
Exactly, that's how it should have been.
Package where it shows those two just training their match. That's all the package was. The package didn't have any personal beef or anything. It was just Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart working out, because you had like the shots of them both jogging. You had Shawn Michaels doing like his headstand at his gym and everything. It was perfectly well done. That's all they needed to do for this match here, and it could have been the main event.
Yeah, yes. If they started it right after the Rumble, they announced it.
Yes.
They did it. We knew this was going to be the match, and that's all the book. There's all the storytelling you need.
Yeah,
there.
exactly. They wasted an opportunity to give this the big fight feel. It doesn't happen.
Thank you for joining us on the Outlaw Macho Drive-In. If you like that video, please click like and subscribe to our channel for more content from the Drive-In. For full episodes of our podcast, you may look us up on Anchor, Spotify, or wherever your favorite podcasts are available. Just search for Outlaw Macho Drive-In. And if it's not too much trouble, would you help us out here? Spread the word, share. We would really appreciate it. Thank you. We love you. Bye.